Hey, what is going on YouTube? Too Sketchy coming at you, and welcome to another video of Iron Harvest. But today we're going to be taking a look at not the gameplay, but the narrative instead. So I was able to conjure up some information based on Scythe and based on Iron Harvest from the developers and whatnot, and I figured it would be a perfect opportunity to dive deeper and figure what is going on in this world of 1920 plus. It is worth mentioning that some of these things might change over the course of time of the development of Iron Harvest, but this is what we know so far. So Iron Harvest features 3 single-player campaigns with one overarching story. In each campaign you follow a story of one character who is joined by 2 other heroes. Heroes in Iron Harvest are not unstoppable super units, but units with special abilities that give you additional options in combat. Currently, the plan is to have 3 heroes for each faction, allowing you to play with 9 heroes in total in multiplayer and skirmish matches. And here are the heroes that we know of so far. First up we have Anna, the hero from Polonia. She is a girl thrown into a world of guerrilla warfare. She is a capable sniper and a symbol of resistance. Throughout her life, she slowly uncovers her family role in the Great War and Polonia resistance. Anna was born into a long line of intellectuals and diplomats. After her parents died in the war, she moved in with her grandfather, a former soldier and avid hunter. He raised her and taught her how to shoot a gun. Over time, Anna became an expert marksman. On a hunting excursion with her grandfather, Anna discovered a mother bear who had died in a trap. Huddled next to the bear was a young bear cub. Taking pity on the animal, Anna scooped him up with her arms and took him home, much to the dismay of her grandfather. Anna and Wojtek, as she had named the bear, quickly became inseparable. They even developed a form of communication using hand signals. When Anna grew up, she decided to use her marksmanship to aid her country. Wojtek joined her as she enlisted in the newly formed reconnaissance troops in the Polonia army. Together, they traveled across the countryside, becoming living legends as they distinguished themselves in battle and showed compassion for even the poorest farmers. Next up, we have Gunther von Duisburg, who is an experienced warrior and a legendary commander of World War I. Gunther grew up in a wealthy, aristocratic family known for the direwolves they bred and sold across the country. As a young boy, he traveled with his father across Africa, where he developed excellent hunting skills and an interest in archaeology. With a strong love for his country, Gunther enlisted in the Saxon army. He spent his first few years of service training soldiers who work with direwolves, where he formed his kinship with 2 particular wolves, Nacht and Tag. In German, that's night and day. When the war began, Gunther and his wolves led elite mech squads across the forests and mountains of Saxony and Europe. His name was both feared and respected, and his jacket grew even heavier with every medal of honor. Last but not least, and I think the most interesting narrative that we have so far, is Olga, the Rusviet spy, a confidant of the Tsar. She investigates incidents that might point towards a huge conspiracy in Rusviet and beyond. Olga comes from an old aristocratic family that lost their money and position a long time ago. She was raised on humble means and in harsh climates, surrounded by simple people and nature. From childhood, Olga was taught to have great respect for the Serbian tigers that prowled the Rusviet tundra. At age 15, Olga was already turning into a beautiful woman of strong ambition and intelligence. She caught the eye of Victor, the young commander of a squadron of mechs traveling through her village on the way to war, and that's when it began to correspond via letter. Victor surprised her by showing up on Olga's 16th birthday to present her with a Serbian tiger cub named Changa he discovered on patrol. The 3 of them spent the next week together and they talked about marrying. Unfortunately, the Great War happened and Victor was called away to service. They continued to write, but one day Olga received word that Victor had gone missing in enemy territory. She vowed to him and joined the Rusviet military intelligence service with Changa at her side. With her intelligence and ambition, she quickly climbed the ranks and finally got the chance to search the western lands for her beloved Victor, with the full strength of the Rusviet military at her back. The lives and stories of all heroes in-game are connected. They will cross each other's paths, sometimes as enemies, sometimes as allies. Some heroes have pets they control, as mentioned, like Anna's bear Wojtek, Gunther's direwolf Tag and Nacht, and Olga's tiger Changa. Others have unique mechs or weapons at their disposal. I hope some of this was interesting and informative, giving you a sense of narrative, and remember to like and sub to stay up to date with all things Iron Harvest. I hope you enjoyed this video, and do let me know which hero sounds the most interesting to you and who you are excited to play the most. With that being said, I'm Too Sketchy, and I'm out. Peace!